I saw another one. I saw another video. We're going to pull an old rabbit out of the hat. I saw another video on how time doesn't exist. It's another video on time doesn't exist. We gotta put a fork in this one, you guys. We gotta put a fork in this time doesn't exist nonsense. Time. Here we go. The arguments for time not existing are that it's fleeting. Right? It's all perspective. Sometimes time passes slowly, sometimes it passes quickly. But that's not enough to say that something doesn't exist, because by it's all a man-made concept. If that's how we're labeling things, then nothing exists. Right? Everything is fleeting. Nothing lasts forever. Change is literally the only constant, period. Change is you can say, well, time's always changing and it's always now, or time is a man-made construct, or sometimes it passes slow, sometimes it passes fast. It's all relative. Name one thing in your life that's not relative. And if all things are relative and all things are fleeting, then all things are not real. And I would agree with you guys 100%. But here's the thing. You guys got to get better. We have to get better at focusing our attention on things that actually matter, things that actually make a difference. Saying time doesn't exist and sort of arguing in that circle is not at all a useful concept. It's not at all a useful rabbit hole to go down for your average person. You know what I mean? It makes great YouTube content. It makes great articles to write about, as sort of a mind game. Like, I get it. I'm down to play those games. But your average person in spirituality, especially someone that's going into it, that's not a useful question to have. It's not a useful topic to have. Time holds all things in separate places. You know what I mean? In fact, time might be the only thing that doesn't change. Time might be realer than you and I. Right? Because time stays the same, but things change through time, do they not? But the fact that events are held separate via time for eternity should lend some credence to say that time is more real than you are. Right? How about, put it this way, for all you guys out there that say time doesn't exist, how about this? How about this? You go ahead and give me your remaining 30, 40, 50 years of your life, since they don't matter, right? Year is just a measure of time, and time doesn't exist. How about you go ahead and give me all your years of life left, and just give them on over to me. I'll take them. I'll take them, and I'll actually utilize them. Because while some people are trying to make the argument that time isn't real, and what they're really saying by time isn't real is that time is irrelevant or time is meaningless because there's no reality behind it, to say that is to say that time doesn't mean anything. Then give me your time. In fact, time could debatably be the most precious thing, the most meaningful thing any of us have on this planet. Yet so many goddamn YouTube videos out there, people out there trying to make their argument that time doesn't exist. And I get what they're saying, and I agree with what they're saying as a philosophical concept, but as a useful topic, look, yes, time has a fleeting quality to it. Yes, it's always now, but to discard it altogether and say that it's not real is to be a fool. Is to simply regurgitate information because you've heard it 1,000 times and you've accepted that dogma as truth. Therefore, you want to preach truth wherever you go, or at least you want to get lots of clicks and traction on an article that you're going to post or something. You know what I mean? But come on, you guys. We got to be better than that. We got to think. We can't. We got to use discernment when we're going through the material that we're going through. Everything that you read has an impact on you. And if you read video or you watch video after video about how time is meaningless and is not real, then you're fucking barking up the wrong tree, man. Woman, human, plankton, whatever you are, if you're barking up the wrong tree. You gotta be smart. Gotta use your noodle. Damn, Atlas cut me good. Ow. Ashy. Sorry, I was playing with Atlas and he scratched the hell out of me. But come on, yo. You should have seen this video. I'm not saying any names. I'm not the type to put someone on blast. I am the type to put someone on blast, but I'm not going to do it right now. He started off with, time is not real. It's a man-made construct. Sometimes it's fast and sometimes it's slow. Sometimes an hour feels like an eternity. Sometimes an eternity passes in a second. And like, you're doing that whole thing. And like I said, I get it. I get the point he's trying to make. Sure. Like, you're right. But at the same time, if you sort of read between the lines, right? Because saying something out loud always has an implication, as above, so below. There's always a flip side to what someone's saying. There's always a dark side to what someone's saying, a subconscious side. And the subconscious side, the dark side, the flip side of saying time is meaningless, or of saying that time isn't real, is to say that time is meaningless. And to say that there's no value behind time is the biggest fucking mistake a human can make. I get it. If you're an Arcturian floating around planet Earth, dipping in and out of dimensions, then time might have a little less relevance on your existence as a goddamn Arcturian. But you and I, fellas, you and I, like I said, if you think time isn't real and therefore is not important and worth criticizing, give me yours. I'll gobble that shit up. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Turkey Day is coming soon, bitches. Gobble, gobble, gobble. I'll take 5 years from you, 10 years from homegirl, 20 years from homeboy that's trying to preach that time is meaningless. Like, come on, man. Think about the words that people are saying. Don't just follow charisma. You know what I mean? For charisma, my God. The devil is probably the most charismatic entity in existence, period. I'll make that argument. 100%. I'll make the argument that the devil is the most charismatic person. But does that mean the devil is someone we should follow? Don't answer that. I know some of you dark-ass fools are going to be like, well, maybe the Lucifer and Jesus is the same thing and the star of the morning. Like, it's a whole nother rabbit hole. I feel ya. I'll humor that idea too, but for the sake of, like, humor me. Is the devil not one of the most charismatic entities, period? And does that mean that it is something that should be followed? Absolutely not. So you guys, think. You know what I mean? Think for yourselves. Here, Keith said something yesterday. He said it really charismatically, but something didn't sit right with me. Hit the books, man. Google that shit. Go back, cross-reference what I'm saying with your studies and see if it makes sense both in the heart and in the mind. Because that's what this world is, right? We're a blend of masculine and feminine, conscious and subconscious. Man, woman, you know what I mean? We have to apply both qualities of energy. Use your heart for the intuition, right? But also use the mind for discernment. Use the mind for your will. Use your mind for your acute awareness. Use them both, yin and yang, baby. Right? Stop making videos about how time isn't real. Fuck. All right, that's it. That's all I had to say. Thank you guys for... I'll talk to you guys in the next video.